If you're looking for a way to make a lot of money that is low risk, easy to learn, that you can do from anywhere, then nothing beats wholesale real estate. On this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step how to wholesale your first house in as little as 21 days. In fact, I'm going to outline for you a 10-step process, including all of the resources you need that you can implement right now. But first, if you're new to wholesaling, let me give you a brief overview. In any given marketplace, there are investors that we call cash buyers who are looking for distressed properties that they can either buy, fix, and flip for profit, or buy, fix, and rent for cash flow. These investors have cash or access to cash, and they're actively, eagerly looking for good deals every single day. What a real estate wholesaler does is he goes out in the marketplace and he finds and sources good deals for these investors, and he actually negotiates and enters into contracts on these discounted properties. Once a wholesaler has a contract with a seller, he now controls that property and takes the deal to an active cash buyer and offers to let him step in and take over the position in the contract and buy the property directly from the seller, of course, for a fee. The wholesaler's profit on a deal is the difference between what a cash buyer pays for the right to buy the position on the contract and what the wholesaler has the contract for with the seller. For example, if the cash buyer will pay $175,000 for the deal and the wholesaler has the contract with the seller for $165,000, the wholesaler has a $10,000 spread on the deal. Wholesalers are extremely valuable in the marketplace because they do the work to find, source, and bring good deals to cash buyers. Get good at wholesaling and you can do multiple deals each month and make 6 and even 7 figures a year in income. That's my story nearly 20 years ago. I was working in construction, earning minimum wage, and discovered wholesaling and started doing around 5 deals a month. Within 3 years, I became a millionaire and I haven't looked back since. If you don't know me, I'm Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year wholesaling and flipping real estate. And here on my channel, I show you how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me and live your dream life, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. If you're just getting started, then follow these 10 steps to get your first deal in as little as 21 days. Step 1 is to set up your business. Now, while it isn't critical to doing your first deal, why wait? Transacting in an entity gives you liability protection and tax advantages because you can write off expenses, and most importantly, it shows a higher commitment level because you're treating it like a business, not a hobby. It's just the right way to get started with any new business, especially wholesaling houses. Now, to set up your business, you'll need to do 3 things. First, register an entity with your state. 2, get a tax ID number so you can file a tax return. And 3, open a business bank account. I refer all of my students to Prime Corporate Services. They specialize in helping real estate investors get set up quickly, and they're really good. They'll even do a free consultation call with you to discuss what's best for you based on your goals. I'll put a link in the description where you can set up that free call. Step 2 is to choose and learn your market. Now, your market is the geographical area where you're going to focus on for finding deals and finding cash buyers for your deals. Since you will be investing time and resources, it's very important that you are clear about your market and commit 100% to that market. Changing markets is starting over at 0, so be very intentional about choosing your market. The good news is no longer does your market need to be local to where you live. You can choose a remote market. This is called virtual wholesaling. Here are some important tips when choosing your market. First is the population needs to be big enough so there are plenty of opportunities in terms of both deals and cash buyers. Avoid rural markets. Choose a county that has at least a population of 500,000. If you do consider a deal in a smaller town, it needs to be no more than 45 minutes drive to a major metro city. Otherwise, it will be increasingly difficult to find a cash buyer. Step 3 is to generate leads. Now, a lead is a distressed property. The goal is to identify leads every day that you can go after and hopefully find a motivated seller. A motivated seller is a property owner who will gladly sell their property at a discount and give up equity in exchange for peace of mind. For example, someone in pre-foreclosure, a tired landlord, someone who moved out of state and now the property is vacant, someone who inherited a property, and dozens of other lead types. These owners desperately want out from under the stress that property is causing them, and your job is to help them. Lead generation is the lifeblood to your wholesaling business. Without enough leads, you simply can't find enough motivated sellers, and you won't do your first deal. Now, I created a report that has over 67 different ways to find motivated sellers, and I'll give that to you for free. Check in the description box below for the download link. Now, while there are several different methods to generate leads, some expensive, some low cost, and some free, one of the most effective methods is to acquire a list of distressed seller leads. Fortunately, there are data software providers that compile, organize, and provide seller leads. Most of these softwares require a monthly subscription for a minimum amount of downloads with additional upcharges for more leads. That's why I recommend PropWire. PropWire is free to search and download as many leads as you want. Not only does PropWire have over 157 million records nationwide, it's also really easy to use. All you do is choose your market, choose your lead, search, and download. And don't forget, it's absolutely free to search and download as many leads as you want. No monthly subscription and no additional upcharges for more data. And what could possibly be better than free? Nothing is better than free, especially when you're just getting started. Check it out at joinpropwire.com and see for yourself. Another free method to generate leads is to contact real estate agents. Some sellers decide to list their distressed properties for sale using real estate agents. These are considered hot leads because the seller is actively trying to sell his unwanted property. On listed distressed properties, the best strategy is to use my double dip technique. This is where you go directly to the listing agent representing the seller and offer to let that agent also represent you. By doing so, that agent will get double commission and work hard to help you get the deal. They will also bring you repeat deals ongoing, so creating agent relationships in your market is a powerful strategy. And remember, doing deals with agent doesn't cost you anything because the seller pays the commissions, not the buyer. By the way, I'll give you my agent scripts for free so you know exactly what to say and how to overcome objections. Just go to agentofferscripts.com for the free download. I also created an exact blueprint to do 3 to 5 deals a month just working with agents. I did a video that breaks it down in detail. I'll put the link to that video in the description below for you. Also keep in mind, PropWire has on-market properties listed with agents as well, so it really is your go-to for leads. Again, just go to joinpropwire.com. Once you've generated some distressed property leads, it's time for step 4, which is to calculate your offer price, or what's called your maximum allowable offer, or MAO. You can't make an offer to the seller if you don't first figure out what the right price is so you actually make money on the deal. The MAO is the price you need to get the contract for with the seller that factors in your desired wholesale profit. In wholesale real estate, when calculating an offer price on a particular deal, the idea is to figure out what an investor would pay in cash to buy that property in that neighborhood and in that condition. Once you know what price makes it a good deal to a local active buyer, simply back out your wholesale fee, and what's left is your MAO. For example, a flipper who would be interested in buying the property, fixing it up, and then flipping it for a profit is going to look at the after repair value, or the price he can sell it for later after it's fixed up. He's going to look at the cost of repairs. He's going to have to factor in closing costs and commissions to sell it. He's probably going to borrow money to do the deal, so he'll have financing costs to factor in based on how long it takes him to do the flip, and he's going to want to make a profit. A good wholesaler knows how to look at the deal from the investor's perspective so they can figure out what's a good deal. But this step often trips up a lot of new wholesalers because they overthink it and spend way too much time analyzing the numbers. That's why I created a simple offer calculator for wholesalers where it calculates the average as-is value of the property and automatically calculates your offer price with built-in wholesale profit. It's great because you don't have to spend any time analyzing comps to figure out the after repair value, and you don't have to estimate repairs. It's plug and play and instantly gives you an offer price, and I'll give it to you for free. Just go to freeoffercalculator.com to get the download. Once you determine your offer price, it's time for step 5, which is to actually present your offer to the seller. And when it comes to making offers, there is a very valuable lesson you need to understand. And the more you get this idea, the faster you'll get to your first deal or your next deal. Are you ready for some profound advice? You're going to want to write this down. Are you ready? The more offers you make, the more deals you'll do, and the more money you'll earn. Let me say that again. In fact, to prove that you're paying attention, write the following in the comments below. The more offers you make, the more deals you'll do, and the more money you'll earn. Then throw in there, Jerry, you are a flipping genius for good measure. Although that may seem obvious, most new wholesalers don't get it. You have to be willing to make a lot of offers. Keep in mind, you're looking for the 5% of all transactions that happen every single month in any given marketplace where the seller is motivated to sell his property at a discount. Understand this, most people are gonna say no, which means the more no's you get, the faster you'll burn through the 95% who aren't motivated, and the faster you'll find the 5% who are motivated. It's that simple. It's just a numbers game. Here's my advice to all new wholesalers. If you're not willing to make 100 offers to get one deal, then you have no business being a wholesaler. I did a video where I outlined a detailed game plan for making 5 offers a day like clockwork. I'll put that video link in the description below for you. Once you've started making offers, that special moment is going to happen where the seller says yes to your offer. So step 6 is to execute a contract. You don't have a deal until you have a contract, because your contract is what you're going to sell to a cash buyer. If the deal is on market, the agent will write and present the offer to the seller using their state-approved contract. But you still need to make sure that contract is written with everything you need to wholesale it. Now, I did a video where I break down exactly what to include in an on-market contract. Link in the description. With off-market, there is no agent involved, so you have to write and present the contract to the seller. If you're a member of my wholesale CRM system called Flipster, my digital contracts are standard. It takes a minute to fill out, and then you just email it directly to the seller, and they sign it electronically right on the spot. To check out Flipster on a 7-day free trial, just go to joinflipster.com. As part of your contract with the seller, you may have earnest money that you agree to pay. Earnest money is a good faith deposit that is held in escrow at the title company until the day of closing, at which time it's reimbursed to you. I'll explain in a minute, so keep watching. Try to give yourself about 3 weeks for closing if you can, so you have plenty of time to find a cash buyer. Now, I also highly recommend including a 10-day inspection clause in your contract. That gives you time as well to renegotiate or terminate the contract if you discover you don't have a good deal. Once you've executed a contract with the seller, it's time for step 7, which is to open escrow with a title company. A title company is going to do a title search to verify who owns the property and find out if there are any issues such as liens or unpaid property taxes, etc. They're going to prepare everything for closing, where change of ownership will happen between the seller and the new buyer, which we'll cover in a minute. Since you're going to assign the contract to a cash buyer, make sure you open escrow with a title company that understands how to do that. Surprisingly, not all do. We call this a wholesaler-friendly title company. I did a video where I explained how to find a wholesaler-friendly title company in your market, link in the description below. After you open escrow, it's time for step 8 to find a cash buyer. As you go and over time, your goal is to build a list of cash buyers in your market. That way, every time you get a new deal, you have ready-to-go buyers for it. But in the beginning, you just need a buyer for your first few deals while you're building your list. So let me share with you my top 3 favorite methods to find a cash buyer. The first method I call the neighborhood flipper method. The idea here is to find other flippers who bought a house, fixed it up, and then sold it or has it listed for sale in the same area as your deal. Flippers love to do deals in the same areas where they've previously done deals, so this is a solid strategy. I did a video where I show live how to find flippers near your deal and contact them about your deal. I'll put the link to that video in the description below. My favorite method number 2 to find a cash buyer is using local Facebook investor groups. Every metro market has several public Facebook groups where investors hang out, discuss investing stuff, and post their deals. Obviously, some groups are better than others. It really comes down to how well the admin monitors and maintains the integrity of the group and removes spamming and soliciting and really upholds the group's purpose and rules. You want to join all the groups in your market. Once you've joined all the groups, make a post about your deal. I did a video where I show how to create a simple video flyer about your deal that will stand out above all the other posts so you get a buyer super fast for your deal. I'll put the link to that video in the description below for you. And finally, favorite method number 3 to find a cash buyer is best if you're serious about killing it wholesaling houses, and that's searching and downloading a list of active cash buyers from PropWire. Yes, PropWire also has cash buyers and even has a really cool feature where you can look up how many properties the cash buyer owns to see how big of a player they are. And again, it's absolutely free to search and download an unlimited number of leads. Just go to joinpropwire.com. And to really help you get comfortable talking and building relationships with cash buyers, I'll give you my word-for-word scripts for free. These include my scripts for texting, voicemail, emails, etc. Check in the description box below for that download link. And a fourth bonus method to find a cash buyer is not to. I'll be your buyer. I fix and flip houses all over the US, and I'll pay you $10,000 for every deal you find that meets my criteria. If that sounds exciting, go to my10kcheck.com to register for a free training to learn all the details. Once you've identified your highest and best offer from a cash buyer, it's time for step 9, which is to execute an assignment contract if you're doing a single closing. The assignment contract is what allows the cash buyer to step in and take over the contract with the seller, of course, for a fee. And again, if you have my wholesaler CRM system, Flipster, then a digital assignment contract is included, which makes it really easy to send to your cash buyers for electronic signatures. To test drive it on a 7-day free trial, just go to joinflipster.com. Now, quick tip, make sure to get a sizable non-refundable deposit from your cash buyer. I suggest at least $2,500, maybe even more. This makes sure your cash buyer is committed and shows up on the day of closing. Once you have your executed contract and non-refundable deposit, get both over to the title agent who you opened escrow with. Now they have the original contract with you and the seller and the assignment contract with you and your cash buyer. And if they're good, they'll handle everything from there. And finally, step 10 is to close and get paid. On the day of closing, title will close with the seller and your cash buyer and wire you your wholesale fee. That means you don't need to attend closing. I haven't been to a closing in years. Now, following this 10-step process I outlined in this video, it's possible that you could get your first deal in as little as 21 days, but hopefully your goal isn't to just do one wholesale deal, but to consistently do deals each and every month. That means instead of chasing after a deal, learn how to run a business that does deals. There's a big difference. And if you'd like to work directly with me and learn how to make a 6 and even 7-figure income while partnering on deals with me so you earn while you learn, then check out my mentor and partner program called Fast Track. For a free training with all the details, just go to fasttrackwithjerry.com. And finally, if you're new to wholesaling and you have time but no money, I did a detailed video where I show step-by-step how to do 3 to 5 deals a month. Watch that now, and I'll see you on the next video.